A very good evening to everybody who is present here. Today we have an extremely august presence amongst us for to deliver her very important talk on the documentation and the need for the documentation of tribes of the Blue Mountain. We will understand what is the Blue Mountain and where exactly geographically it is located and what are we talking about from the very eminent Professor Renuga Devi, who was a former HOD in the School of Linguistics and Communication of the Madurai Kamraj University. We welcome you, ma'am, to SEL, which is Society for Endangered and Lesser Known Languages. Um, if all of you, since all of you are here, all of you should probably know that what we are working, what the SEL stands for, what the Society for Endangered and Lesser Known Languages stands for, what we do. We majorly work with documentation, revitalization, and restoration of endangered languages. We also work with other areas of linguistics in general, but majorly with endangered languages. So we thank Professor Renuga Devi today for being here. Let me give you a little introduction because it is going to be a very short introduction of Professor Renuga Devi, because if we start talking about the awards and recognitions and the work that Professor Devi has done in her lifetime, in her teaching career of 33 years, then this entire hour will be spent only talking about those things. The courses that she has taught, the PhDs that she has supervised, the work that she has done, the books that she has published, and all of those things. So please understand that this is a very short introduction and it only covers the gist of what Professor Devi has done. She has taught for more than 33 years. Her career as a linguist spans beautiful 33 years, where she has won 13 awards, published numerous books, edited number of books, guided a number of students, as well as postdoctoral fellows, etc. She has been the member of several important members, boards of studies, supervised the recruitment of several faculty like ourselves, and even, excuse me, and been a member of several important organizations like the that talk about Dravidian linguistics, that talk about linguistics and work in linguistics in general. She has been the go-to person as far as Tamil linguistics and Telugu linguistics is concerned. And she has been the head of the Department of Linguistics. She has retired as the head of the Department of Linguistics of the Madurai Kamraj University. We welcome you, ma'am. You are an extremely important member of the linguistic field, and you are an inspiration to all of us. And we hope to learn a lot from you in today's conversation, in today's presentation. And I hope that all of you are ready with your questions and you are ready to learn a lot today in this very short hour. We wish we had you for a more longer time, but we have to do with this, and you probably will be associated with us for a longer time now. Once you do finish your presentation here, we would love to hear from you again. So the stage is yours, ma'am. Renuga Devi, ma'am, you will be speaking on the tribes of Blue Mountains. I will be assisting you in your slides presentation. The stage.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you for your nice introduction about me. Good evening to everyone. I thank Professor Kavita, the founder of Society for Endangered and Lesser Known Languages. I also thank Madhuri and other members of SEL for giving me this opportunity to talk about a few things than about the Nilgiri tribes. SEL has noble objectives of documenting, revitalizing, writing grammars, preparing dictionaries for endangered languages and also lesser known languages. So I congratulate the team members for their noble work. Once again, I thank Kavitaji and Madhuri for inviting me to deliver this lecture. The title is Tribes of Blue Mountains Need for Documentation. As soon as some people raised a question, why you have put the title as Blue Mountains of Nilgiris. So I start with why it is. I gave the title Blue Mountains because I passionated with the title Blue Mountains. I will explain in my paper why it is called Blue Mountains and why we have to document these tribes culture. I'm not talking about their language. I'm going to give some salient features of these tribes. And because of these salient features, we have to document their culture. So with this small note about my lecture, I start to give my lecture. The Nilgiris district is one of the 38 districts in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu. Nilgiri, Blue Mountain, is the name given to a range of mountains spread across the borders among the states of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Kerala. The Nilgiri Hills are part of a larger mountain chain known as the Western Ghats. The Blue Mountains were likely named for the widespread blue Strophalanthus flower called as Neela Kurinji, which blooms once in 12 years, or the smoky gas enveloping the area. Blue Mountain area was occupied by the indigenous tribal people, namely Todas, Kotas, Irlas, Kurumbas, Baniyas, Katanayakas, and Badagas. So the Nilgiris is home to 6 ancient indigenous tribes. Though they speak Toda, Kota, Irula, Kurumba, Baniya, Katanayaka languages, they belong to the ethnic group of Dravidian family. Except Badagas, all other are scheduled tribes in the Nilgiris. These tribes have traditionally relied on each other for different goods and services in a complex trade network. The Badagas often traded clothes and food with the Kota, who supplied with music for funerals and torching, carpentry, and other services. Uh, Madhuri, sharing the screen? Are you sharing the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but I am not able to see that. There's
Is that a problem for anybody else on the in the meeting? Because I can see it in my computer.
okay.
Are the
If
slides
it is
visible? If any one of you could see,
if it is visible for others, it is well and good. I am going to read my paper only. Coming to the population, according to census 2011, the population of Toda is 2,978, Kota 3,110, Kurumba 2,586, Irla 1,89,621, Bania 10,134, Katinayaka 72,000. Todas. So first I will explain something about Todas. The close-knit Toda community lives in settlements called moons across the Nilgiris. They are pastoral nomads who occupy the upper plateau. They use an endangered water buffalo called Asiatic water buffalo, whose population is decreasing. The Todas were the most distinctive in appearance, economy, and social organization as pastoralites. Each Toda settlement dependent on associated families of cultivators for their principal foods, apart from the buffalo milk and ghee, which they consume in larger quantities. The economic production came entirely from the herds, but the buffalo were much more to them than an economic mainstay. Toda's religion was primarily concerned with elaborate rituals of caring for the buffalo, uh, taking their milk, and preparing ghee from the milk. The temples are the dairies of the sacred herds. The dairymen in them are the consecrated priests. Buffaloes figure in the major ceremonies of the life cycle. In funerals, buffalo sacrifices is a pivotal act. Women can have nothing to do with sacred buffaloes. There are 2 categories of Toda buffaloes. Temple are sacred animals, and the second one is the ordinary domestic animals, which are the mainstay of the Toda pastoral economy. see, the Todas are vegetarians and do not eat meat, eggs that can catch or fish. The buffalo were milked in a holy dairy where the priest milkmen also process their gifts. So the milk of the temple buffaloes is churned according to a ritual prescribed to make butter. Buttermilk from most dairies may be distributed for domestic consumption, and buttermilk, ghee may even be sold to outsiders. So these the holy buffaloes, the women cannot touch this or milk these holy buffaloes. The domestic buffaloes may be milked by any layman, and the milk is sold raw or else is processed without a ceremony in the dwelling cuts. Toda women prohibited from contact with the sacred buffaloes or their milk. It is very sad that some ancient art forms are facing extinction. One among them is the Toda's embroidery. It is very much necessary to document their art, which is at the verge of extinction. The Toda embroidery, locally known as Putukuli or Bukar or Bukar, meaning a flower, a distinctive style of embroidery sold owned by both men and women of Toda community. So usually Toda people wear these kind of shawls, both men and women. They use these shawls only. The handicraft product is listed as a geographically tagged product and is produced protected under the Geographical Indication of Goods Registration and Production Act, Jeevan Act, 1999 of the Government of India. It was registered by the Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks under at Jeevan application number 135 under class 24, class 25 and 26 as textiles and textile goods, clothing and embroidery. A certificate of the Jeevan registration was formally presented to the community leaders in June 2013. Usually, women are employed in doing this embroidery work, while the men are at work with the holy buffaloes or other agricultural work. So women, they do only embroidery and cooking in their houses. Coming to kotas. Kotas are artisans, good at pottery and carpentry. They are mainly blacksmiths, makers of agricultural equipment and weapons for war. They used to make equipments. The kota houses called pai were traditionally thatched huts with mud and brick walls. The houses of the kotas have a unique linear pattern with 2 or 3 localities called kere with 2 or 3 steep
Professor might be getting a call because as she informed us, she was connected with her phone. So I would like all of you to kindly be patient and she'll join us in a second.
Sorry for that. Yeah. So the kota houses are called pai, were traditionally thatched huts with mud and brick walls. The houses of the kotas have a unique linear pattern with 2 or 3 localities called kere, with 2 or 3 streets which form the integral pan of the village. Each village had 3 exogamous plants of similar name. The Kotas eat the meat of deceased or sacrificed buffaloes, a practice viewed as pollution by their neighbors, as the eating of bovine flesh is generally regarded among Hindus. So, eating of the flesh of the died animals considered to be polluted. So these people, these Kotas, they get the flesh of the sacred buffaloes from Todas, and they eat those flesh, because those Todas, they won't eat the flesh. They are truly vegetarian. So the sacrificed animals are given to Kotas, who helped them in burial of the dead body. Kotas customarily provide music for ceremonies. So this, if anybody in Toda community dies, these people play the music for that funeral ceremony. The playing of music at funerals is considered to be a lowly occupation. They have maintained a lifestyle as a jack of all trades, such as potters, agriculturalists, leather workers, carpenters, and blacksmiths, and as musicians for other groups. Kota traditional garment is known as varat. A white bedspread cloth is thrown around the body by men and women. Male dress consists of single piece of white coarse cloth called girkat. Traditional earring ornament are used both by men and women. They used to pierce their ear and wear the ornaments in their ears. Kota village is led by a village headman called Kotkaran. The Kotkaran from Manor was head of all the 7 villages. Whenever a dispute rises, the Kotkaran will call a meeting known as Kut with the village elders and decide the solution. This is so the Kota artisans produced hand-carved triple butts and double reed instruments coal. The Kota women made baskets called kik, which are necessarily for certain ceremonial occasions. Even now, many people are using baskets for the for the funerals. Cakes from goats and oxen are necessary for the production of their musical instruments. The coal, double reed, tabat, frame drum, or tapattai in Tamil, and cope, brass corn. Their long curved corns called cope used to be fastened up buffalo corn. They made this cope, K-O-P, cope, from the buffalo corn, and they used that as a musical instrument. Kota tribe usually dance to the tunes of their music during the festivals and also while celebrating life cycle rituals. The types of their dances are Kalkus art. So the name is given in the Kota language, and the dances are divided as Kalkus art. Art means autumn in Tamil, and Tringan art, and Vipalot art, and Koyin art. The Kotas supply the band for the Toda tribal people and Badaga festivals and funerals. The Todas pay the Kota musician plus and buffaloes and rice. This is the wage given by the Toda or Badaga to the Kotha people for their music, which is played in the funeral of Kotha, Toda and Badaka. Men always dance before women, and at the closer of larger festivals, a day is devoted to women's singing and dancing. So, in the beginning, only Kotha men started dancing, and the end of the festival, they used to give a day for women. They have to, they will enjoy their day. Then coming to, so I am not elaborating the full style of the tribes of Nilgiris, but I'm giving only the salient features which are very important about them. Then coming to Girulas. Girulas are one of the India's oldest. Somebody's mic is on. Illas are one of the India's oldest indigenous communities, and they are particularly vulnerable tribal group. They speak Irla language, which is related to Dravidian family. Irlas traditionally caught snakes and rats, but they are also work as laborers. Irlas are specialists in traditional herbal medicine and healing practices. Irla Vaidyas, mostly women, practice traditional healing system which use over 320 medicinal herbs. They treat several new age diseases. Even now, they are treating the new age diseases with a high success rate. People around the world realize that traditional healing practices must have a place in modern medicine. The tribal households traditionally had a backyard gardens and that had multi-layered and multi-purpose indigenous trees, plants, herbs, and herbs. The produce from this small garden is sufficient to meet the dietary and nutrition need of the family for entire year. Even from their backyard, they used to get the food for 1 year. The main deity is a virgin goddess called Kanniyamma, who is deeply associated with the cobra. Many rituals involve the priest entering of a trance and hissing like a snake, symbolizing the spirit of the goddess. Like whenever they enter inside the temple, they used to enter with a hissing sound, like how the snakes are producing the sounds. The people also produce the hissing sound, and they try to enter inside the temple. It was Urula's skill with snakes. They brought them an invitation from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. 2 members of the Urulas, Masi Sadayan and Vadivel Gopal, flew half across the world to participate in a project aimed at curbing the extensive problem of Burmese pythons in the Everglades National Park. These enormous snakes have established a large breeding population in the Everglades and are threatening endangered populations of small mammals in the national park. So they invited because they are not able to control the increasing the number of pythons in the national park. So they invited these Irla people to Florida just to catch the pythons. Over a span of 2 months, after 64 days into Everglades, they stayed Florida for 2 months, and this Marcy and Vadivel captured 34 pythons. Industrial Cooperative Society of Urlas is major producers of anti-snake venom, ASB, anti-snake venom, which is very much important, and not only for the types, but also for us also in the country. Recently, expert these snake catchers from the Irla community, Masi Sadayan and Vadivel Gopal, were conferred the Batmasiri for social work in 2023 with our eminent professor Ramakrishna Reddy. These two people are also conferred the Batmasiri Award for working in the benefit of tribals. So Professor Reddy also wrote so many books. He has also worked intensively with the tribes, and he brought out so many books on tribals. These two people, though they are not able to read and write, and they are expert in catching the snakes. So they are invited to Florida, and they captured 34 pythons, and because of their social work, this work, the government of India conferred Padmasri Award for these two people. Though Yurlas are professionally snake and rat catchers, they are well versed in the art of music also. So usually they used to catch the snakes by playing the flute. So they are well versed in music also. Their art of music is disseminating these days. Slowly, it is going away from that community. They played 8 different musical instruments some 20 years before. They are able to play 20 musical instruments before 20 years before. Now the knowledge of only 4 remains. Instruments are there, but the art is gone. Firewalking is still performed as way of honoring the goddess Marikabba. Here also, in plains also, we used to worship Mariammal. Like that, this Illa community also worship Marikabba. So she will keep small box away. So in the plains also, we have the belief that if we worship Mariammal, we won't get small box. The Yudla live in villages with a special pollution cut for menstruating women. They used to build a hut outside the village for the menstruating women. These things are about Yurulas. And coming to Kurumbas, there are several divisions of Kurumba, Jenu Kurumba, Beta Kurumba, Alu Kurumba. Among these, Jenu Kurumbas are found in the northern part of Nilgiris, and most of the Beta Kurumba and Alu Kurumba, they are living in the Wayanad of Kerala district. The Kurumbas are foragers and shifting cultivators. They won't stay in a particular place. They are moving. That's why they are called as shifting cultivators. At present, their economy is mainly revolving around their traditional occupation of collecting forest products like honey, wax, soap net, turmeric, ginger, and wild cardamoms. Kurumba know the art of body tattooing skills. Now also, we are putting tattoos on which we can erase it soon. But their tattooing skills, They make this tattooing with some juice from the leaves and the flowers. That's why you cannot erase this tattooing. I have one tattooing. Are you able to see? A scorpion. I had this in my at my age of 5. Still, I am not able to erase it. It is done by a tribal woman. So the Kurumbas know the art of body tattooing skill in the manufacture of the baskets and mats reveals their craftsmanship. They also know how to make the baskets and mats also. Kurumbas are animists and totemists, and there has been much change in the early forms of worship. Earlier, they worshipped the nature. Now, some people become changed the religion to Christianity. The Kurumbas survived by hunting and gathering, by petty agriculture or as slaves. They market jungle products. Kurumba groups which are commonly isolated from each other are governed by a headman with 2 assistants who handle disputes. Partially Hindus, they have abandoned many traditional customs. Members of this group are short, have a dark complexion and prominent eyebrows. Kurumba art is a unique art form found in the Nilgiris. Rock art in the form of pictographs and modern painting tradition is vague amongst the Kurumba tribe. And this art form is reported from Vellari Kombi. Vellari Kombi is a place name. There you can find the Kurumba art forms. In the Nilgiri district, Eluttupare. Eluttupare is an ancient 3,000 years old rock site in the Kotagiri region of the Nilgiris. The art are primarily ritualistic, describing various phases of tribal life in the remote forests of the Nilgiris. If you go to Kotagiri, you can visit that Eluttupare. There you can come across many paintings in the rock arts in the in that place. So these are done by these Kurumbas. So this is about Kurumbas. And coming to the next tribe, Baniyas. I'm not able to get much information about Baniyas. I got very little information about Baniyas and Katunayakans. The Baniyas are the poorest of the poor among all tribal communities. Baniyas live in villages, badis, consisting of a few cults, fire or sala, with courtyards. Each cult settlement contains 5 to 15 families. Baniya males wear a lengthy cloth wrapped around the waist, which is known as mundu. Say, they are living in the border of Kerala also. There, the dress which the Kerala women wears is called mundu. Here also, the Baniya people wear mundu. A smaller number, a smaller mundu is also slung over the shoulders to cover the body. Say that they used to cover the body with a one more piece of cloth. Baniya females are panichi. The Baniya females are called as panichi. Wear a long cloth with a smaller one above the breast area and around the armpits. In addition, they wear a red or black arati. So we used to call something called Vodianam, and in their language it is arati, scarf around the waist. Baniyas are hunter and gatherers who also practice agriculture. Baniyas bury their dead in formal funeral rites. The place of burial is close to the body. So they used to bury the dead body near to their houses only. The interment is accompanied by a 7-day mourning period by family members. They used to mourn the death for 7 days. So coming to Katunayaka, Katunayakan. Katunayakan are hunters and collect forest products, including honey. They rarely mix with other tribes and still follow black magic and sorcery. Most of them have given up hunting and are pursuing other means of living. Many are daily wages and painters. They shift slowly. They are shifting from their ancient business to modern business. So these people, Katunayakans, they are working as painters. So their name means chiefs of the forest. Katu Nayakan. Nayakan is the chief. Katu is forest. So the name Katunayaka means chiefs of the forest. Their main livelihood is collecting and setting up honey. Collecting and selling up honey. They also fish, hunt, and collect forest products to eat and sell. The Katunayakan live in separate family dwellings. A council of elders makes a decision for the family groups. Honey plays a special role in their lives. They eat it, use it for medicine and trade. Now, we also use honey for the medicine and trade it for things they need. So we used to call exchange the products. So they sell the honey, and for the honey they used to get the rice, vegetables like that. The Katunayakans can climb 20 to 3 meter trees in search of honey. They used to go in search of honey, and they are able to climb 20 to 30 meters in search of honey. One hive can yield over 25 pounds of honey. They get so many bee stings that their bodies develop immunity. They always go for honey hunting. So when they climb in the trees and they're trying to took the honey from the give, usually the bees they bite their body. So because they had that bite often, their body became immune. The Katunayakans are also known for their dancing and singing. They pass on their history and customs through song and dance. The Katunayakans are monogamous, with girls marrying when they reach puberty. Their main god is a form of Shiva, the destroyer. They believe in magic, which many of their women practices. They perform rituals to protect themselves from evil spirits. They use this black magic, and they also use sorcery to protect themselves from the black magic. They do black magic for others and for them also. This is about this Kattanayaka. So far, we have, I have given some important, peculiar or salient features of tribes who live in Blue Mountains. We didn't discuss much about, anything about Badagas. Badagas traditionally settled agriculturists, and they numerically larger, more than 2 lakhs and 3 lakhs. They are indigenous people of Nilgiris, but not tribes. But they often mingle with other tribes like Toda, Kota, and Kurumba. These people traditionally relied on each other for different goods and services in a complex trade network. So far, I did discuss the whole culture and the language of these 6 tribes. I have given only a few salient features of these tribes because of the time restriction. So if you want to do, I work elaborately with Todas, but not other tribes. But I am able to get information from various sources. So when I see the tribes' lifestyle, so the Todas are well in embroidery, and the Kurumbas are art form, the Kotas. Each tribe is well versed in a particular craft or particular job. So that's why I thought of giving a clear picture of these tribes, a picture, something about these tribes, and why we have to document this, documentation. So many people know this much of people are living in Nilgiri Hills, but some may know, some may work in detail with these tribes, and the SEL is very much interested in documenting the lifestyle, the culture, the medicines used by the tribes, and the language also. They are involving in the documenting, and so I don't know how many of these languages or how many of these cultures of tribes are documented. I have documented only the language of Todas for SEL program, and others language and culture I don't know. If SEL is very much interested, they can move from northeast region to the south region. So coming to this is about the tribes lifestyle, and coming to the need of documenters. Why we have to document these things? What is the necessity for documentation? Todas and Kotas are categorized as endangered. In the UNESCO list, we can find that only these 2 languages are listed under endangered language of Tamil Nadu. So they only nearly 2,000, below 2,000 people are only 2,000, below that 2,000 are found these Toda and Kota people are. I have given the population. The population is slowly decreasing. So they are endangered languages as listed out by the UNESCO. Irlas, Kurumbas, Baniyas, and Kattanayakans are categorized as particularly vulnerable, the previous stage of endangerment. Mostly, all these people are losing their language and also their culture. These tribals have carried stories, practices, culture, and knowledge of medicinal plants over generations. We have a lot to learn from them, plus conserving them for our future would both for them and our upcoming generations. We have to keep all their things for our future generations. Tribals have a strong connection with nature, as we have seen. They are living amidst of jungles, so they have many of the tribes worship nature as their goddess, god and goddess, with traditional beliefs and practices that revolve around the forests and animals, folk arts and crafts. So, by using the natural products, they are making their this crafts, arts and crafts. For painting also, rock painting also, they are using the juice from the juice which are taken from the green leaves. As we have seen, Todas are known for embroidery, snake catching, and the knowledge of medicinal plants of Jurulas. So, the art form of Kurumbas, Elutupare, the knowledge of pottery and carpentry of Otas, black magic, sorcery, and honey collecting techniques of Katunayakan may be extinct in the near future. So these people are walk around the jungles to collect their livelihood. So they're slowly the Christian missionaries are entering inside the tribal settlements, and they try to convert them to Christianity, and they are trying to educate them, give education to them. One or two people are doctors in this tribal communities. Recently, I read in a newspaper, due to continued closeness to forests, tribal knowledge system possesses rich knowledge of nature. This knowledge can contribute to environmental assessment and sustainable ecosystem management. In modern times, many tribes are influenced by urban culture through their dress, diet, and socio-economic status. So most of the tribes are converting their dress and lifestyle, diet, everything. They nowadays they're not eating the flesh or the forest products, but they are eating pizza, burger also. Not only the culture of the tribes are at the verge of extinct, their language also at the verge of extinct. Their own culture and language is not going to fetch their livelihood. Why they want to shift from their own mother tongue to other languages? It is because even they are able to read and write, educated in their language, it is not going to fetch any livelihood for them. So they want to learn Tamil, Malayalam, or Kannada, or English. They are not interested in maintaining their culture and language. The above said reasons emphasize the need of documentation of tribal culture and language, which are going to be extinct. Before their extinction from this world, they have to be documented. See, so there are many reasons. I have listed out only a few reasons. I have mentioned a few peculiar things practiced by these tribes of Nilgiris, and Badakas are not considered to be scheduled tribes. So I didn't talk about Badakas, but all other 6 types, they are very important, and we have to study about their lifestyle, about the culture, about their education system, and about their language. So that will give us certain important things for our enrichment of our life cycle. So, for example, this snake for snake biting, they are able to produce the venom which cures. So we are getting the venom, the snake venom, from the Urla community. By smelling, they are able to predict the place of the snakes. So that's why they are invited to Florida to catch the pythons. Likewise, each tribe have their own characteristic features, and even though they lived in one settlement, they are helping each other. They speak different languages. They have different culture. They have different lifestyle, which is under the pressure of extinction. So that's why I want to give a short introduction about this type and their important features. So this makes to think about us, about me to why we are not. I don't know how many of these languages are documented. I don't have any data in my hand, but if the documentation is not done so far, SEL, again, the Society for Endangered and Lesser Known Languages may initiate to document these languages which are spoken in the southern part of India. So I thank the Society of Endangered and Lesser Known Languages, and I also Kavitaji and Madhuri for giving me, and all the other members and all the participants once again for giving me this opportunity to talk about the lesser known people or the tribes. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Professor Devi, for your wonderful presentation and introduction to these different interesting tribes of the southern part of India. If we have any questions for ma'am, we have 10 minutes left in today's session. You guys can go ahead and ask your questions. Unmute yourself and ask your questions, please. Okay, if and nobody has a question, I would like to ask Professor Devi a question myself. Ma'am, you showed the tattoo in your hand, and you mentioned that you got it when you were 5 years old.
Yeah, when I was very small child, the Katunayaka woman, they came to
okay, somebody's mic is unmuted. I'll just mute them. Okay,
so
all right, ma'am.
They used to come to the plains. So from that time I don't know who is she and all those things I don't know. But they used to come in certain times only, particular time only, not in all the seasons. But a particular season they used to come and they used to sing a song and they do that tattoo.
Okay, and so you can say that you were destined to work with them, because when you grew up, you worked with the community and you documented their language under spell. So it's like a divine intervention. I would like to ask you, do the designs of the tattoo designs, are they culture specific? Do they have certain meanings? Have these meanings of these tattoos been documented and the designs, etc., been documented, or do they just draw anything that you want?
No, they know only particular drawings only, not all the things. But they used to draw mostly connected with their lifestyle. Mostly connected with their lifestyle. They used to draw.
So also usually in cultures who have cultures that have tattoo designs and tattoo artists, only certain members of the community are allowed to do tattoos. So was that something like that in this community as well?
Yeah, only women are allowed to do tattooing.
All right, all right, all right. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Because we have communities. I'm from the northeast of the country, and we have
Yeah.
communities which have who have tattoos, artists and all. And only the eldest woman of the village is allowed to do tattoos, and there are very significant meanings associated with each design. For example, when
Yes,
if you win
yes.
a war, if you win something, who is this person? Anyway. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Devi, for this wonderful introduction to these different tribes. We absolutely learned a lot. And as you say that you are not aware whether these people, whether all these languages have been documented or not, definitely somebody who is listening to this lecture and is a member of the Society for Endangered and Lesser Known Languages, you can figure out, you can find out more about what
Yeah.
Professor Devi is talking about, and maybe indulge in your own documentation process. I'm sure Professor Devi will be able to help you out with anything that you want.
Yes.
Ma'am, if you allow, we could share your email address with the participants of today's program, and so that they can ask you for any help if they need, if they decide to do something like this, something
Okay.
regarding this, something as far as documentation of these languages is concerned. Thank you so much, ma'am. We thank you everyone for coming here today and being a part of this talk. Once again, we would like to welcome you again, Professor Devi, if you have time at any point of time. Later on during the year as well, and thank you once again for
Yeah.
coming here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. So my mail address is prof.renuka@gmail.com. And if you have, you can share it. And my WhatsApp number is 9486898197. 9486898197. That is my WhatsApp number, and mail ID is prof.renuka@gmail.com. Yes, that is. Madam Kavita ji came written from Bhubaneswar.
I think,
Madhuri?
ma'am, I think Karta ma'am is already on the way. She's on the way
On the
back.
way.
She has
On
not.
the way.
She has
Okay,
not
okay.
arrived yet. She's not arrived yet. I am.
Yeah.
She's listening to the meeting.
You are Madhuri.
She's just unmuted
Namaste,
herself.
Renuga ji. Thank you very much.
Madam,
I'm not
you are
able to.
listening.
Yeah, yeah. I did hear your talk, and thanks a lot for sharing your information with my members and others. Thanks a lot. We will be in touch.
Thank you. In future,
for other programs.
yeah, in future also we can work together, madam.
Yes.
In future also we can work together. If you
Yes.
need any help from southern part of the India, I am ready to help you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Okay.